Hello there, welcome back to Nagaur, and well, the achievement Rajput Reich that we will be doing first. Currently, well, at the time we are at war with a couple of nations here, and now my game froze, so hopefully I'll still be able to fix that post, we'll have to see. But we're at war with Balochistan and Yemen, and well, Burmanis, so it's going to be a little bit interesting. We are focused on our war against Balochistan though, because we do want to take some provinces from them, because that will make it easier for us to actually get into well, people do want to free Nagaur, it looks like. Doesn't really matter, we will not accept that royal marriage, we already have very low legitimacy. But as we're saying here, the goal is basically to be able to fabricate a claim on Night, for instance, and slowly but surely make our way onto, well, into Europe. That's basically the goal, by most likely going through the Mamluks if we can, if we get ourselves in a position where we can actually win a war against them, which should be possible in, well, the not so distant future, probably 20, 30 years or so. It will probably take 50 to get there though, so we'll have to see. I'll probably also consider attacking some of these, well, miners, especially Hadoti here. So I think it's fair to say that we're going to start fabricating claims on said miners, of course, because of the fact that, well, they're both allied with Kathiawar, which makes them very, very easy targets to beat. And, well, I do want to beat them. That's basically the gist of it. And I'm also very tempted to vassalize Kathiawar if I end up in a war with them. But we'll have to see what I'll do in that scenario. Right now, we're not really doing too much. I'm just keeping an eye on what's happening with Balochistan here. Our vassal has taken one province, and hopefully they'll be able to, well, take some more. We'll just have to wait and see how this plays out. But for now, we'll just, yeah, wait. And hopefully, we'll end up with a fairly good victory here. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. So I'll just allow it to, well, play out. So I did not actually pay attention to what was going on here, and it puts me in a very, very bad position here, because as you can see I have 6 stacks of 6k rebels. I should probably pay more attention to these guys, but I didn't, and as a result here I end up in, well, a very bad position here. I can either give them a 20% local autonomy. 3 of these provinces are mine, 3 of them are not, which is funnily enough due to the siege. So I think in this case we'll just accept the demands. Of course, the fact that it'll hurt my prestige is kind of harsh, but I feel that would be better. But apparently here that was a lie, because as you can see, due to the fact or how things are currently working, the peasants did actually not vanish due to the fact that they, well, were in siege territory, which is annoying as hell. So hopefully I can have Meva deal with them. If not, then we are probably in for quite a bad ride here. But it seems like Meva is really, or do at least have a superior army to them, because they're beating them quite substantially. But I would still prefer it if we didn't get into scuffle with them, more or less. So it's not the best thing ever, but it's not too much we can do about that. I'm also still tempted to declare war on well, those guys, but we'll have to see how we'll handle that. But as I said here, my vassal Meva is doing a really good job here. We are currently sieging 4 of the 5 provinces now left, so the war should be won very soon. We'll just have to wait a little bit, and hopefully I will not make a rebel issue or rebel mistake again. We'll have to see here. The autonomy is already pretty damn high in some of these provinces. I might have to forcefully lower it down the line, but that's not really too much or a really good option here, because we do have some rebel issues. So with that considered, I think I will reduce it to 3 here, and then most likely just pull back. Let's face it, this one you basically want to ease tension every time, unless you really need a casus belli against someone. We don't need a diplomatic casus belli against Balochistan here, so we'll just ease the tension, get a little bit of opinion back, potentially get an alliance with Jampur as that, or due to that extra 60 that we were supposed to get. Apparently did not get that, or it actually triggers a month. It didn't, so this game is already very weird in terms of bugs and things like that. Not really a good thing, all things considered. We also apparently have taken a loan here. Yeah, I took 3 loans, that's how it works. I'll repay 2 of them now, and then we can repay the other 2 later, once we actually lower the the usage of the army, if you will. So I think I will just pull these guys back home, because there's no reason for me to actually have them in territory unless they're actually needed. We'll take the piety for diplomatic power, no problem. But it was also pointed out to me that diplomatic cost or diplomatic annexation of these provinces are actually more expensive now, so we'll have to deal with that as well. Do I want to declare war on Hadodi right now? Do I? Nope. Truces. Do I want to declare war through these guys? Nope. Truces. How long do I have a truce for? 78. So 2 more years of truce, so basically once these calls are, well, close to done, then things will be good. So as you can see, Malva has done a little bit of conquest. They took 3 provinces, these 3, and that actually makes, well, it makes them big. It'll probably be me versus Malva once we reach the end of this game. I want to form Hindustan, which of course will be hilarious, but it is what it is. Also, if you consider the fact that Merva wants to actually destroy me, I think it's safe to say that I should probably attempt to stay at war, just to make sure that Merva is in on my side. So I definitely need to destroy Gwalior and Hadodi as soon as I can. So I'll probably declare as soon as the truce is up. I'll probably not end the war that I currently have with Baluchistan before that time. Again, just to protect myself a little bit. So we'll have to see how that goes. The truce ends in what month? June 1478. So I have to force this war to go for another year. But let's face it, with the airmen in it, it shouldn't be that difficult. I can also just lower the maintenance right now. But as you can see, my income has actually taken a pretty substantial hit due to me having to increase the autonomy due to the rebels. So it was probably a really bad idea, all things considered. And I might want to consider forcefully lowering it. As you can see, the unrest is at minus 18%, so I can lower it basically with more or less complete safety here. Here the problem is the conversion, but even so, I will take the chance of lowering it. I don't think there's anywhere else I can actually lower it since I've increased it, so that's an issue, but not much I can do about that right now. So again, we'll try and keep this war going for as long as we can. I'll declare war on Gwalior basically on day 1 after the war, I think, to attempt for, well, keeping things going. Again here, it's more of a safety issue more so than anything else, so I guess in this case I'll sacrifice some diplomatic power to basically try and stay in power, because that is what we will be doing. Merva simply has too big of an army to, well, for me to make a peace deal here without having, well, the safety of being in another war with them on my side. I just feel it's a little bit too much of a risk to go through with that. So for now, we'll just sit peacefully by here. We'll make sure that we save up some more money. I pay back my 3 loans. So doing that will be what we'll be doing. The truce runs out in what was it, June? I think. Yeah, truce runs out in June. So we'll wait until June, then we'll declare war, and then we will hopefully crush these 2. Most likely just go for a straight out annex, which could break my alliance, which could actually make things a little bit dangerous for me, but no risk, no glory. So hopefully I can make something work there, but we'll just have to wait and see. I'll just speed along to June. There we go, we are currently in July, as you can see here. And with that, we can start another war. I don't care if Kathiavan joins us, because it will be very easy to beat them. Let's just be honest. And I kind of need to do this just to keep Malva occupied, if you will. And of course, I'm using them to destroy my competitors, which is a very good thing to do. This is the peace deal. I'll be taking the 5 provinces I've fabricated claimed on. I can annex them. It will give me 60% overextension and about 25 aggressive expansion. This will give me 11, which is still a little bit dangerous, but it should be far safer. And basically, it would cost me 200 points of diplomatic power as well. This will cost me 0, since I do have claims to everything, and thus I feel this is the best deal that I could go with in the Baluchistan war. Of course, again, Timurids here might be pissed, but as you can see, they actually want to have me as an ally right now, which would actually be useful, because then I can just conquer India, well, more or less, without concern of what's going on around me. And if the Timurids then start to collapse, I can most likely snatch or break any relation that I have with them, snatch in and take Persia without any concerns whatsoever, and then basically get a massive vassal Persia, annex them, and boom, we are basically huge. So this will be interesting to see if I can actually pull something from here, but as you can see, the unrest it's just huge. So I definitely need to increase autonomy, unfortunately, in all of these, just to keep them relatively rebel free, I think. Once I get a little bit bigger and once everything settles down with basically the opening moves, more or less, things will be looking better. But for now, things are definitely not looking too good, if you will. So in this case, we're also going to take the opportunity. Do I actually still have a truce with these guys? Until November 79. So again, here we actually have some wars we can juggle around, if you will, and that is fairly alright. I'm also very tempted to fight a war against these guys, Bamanish, Jampur. Jampur is of course an issue. They actually do want to have an alliance right now, so I could use this again also to my advantage, but I definitely want the Timurids more than Jampur. Because if I can direct Timurids into wars, first and foremost it'll destabilize them, making a Persia snatch a lot easier. And it will also be a lot easier for me to basically take complete control over the area. So no matter how we look at it, it will probably benefit me no matter what I do here. And that is of course a very, very good thing. Unfortunately, I already moved the capital, but we'll be fabricating claims on the 3 provinces that we can. I'm a little bit unsure if I'll go for an annex here, but probably. We'll probably also end up in a war with Multan, especially if I manage to ally myself with the Timurids, because then I can just crush them, and the less than aggressive expansion, of course, will keep Timurids off my back. I can basically just conquer the entire border here with no concern for how anyone feel. Best case scenario is also I can most likely use them in the war against the potential Karakonlu here, because it's actually doing pretty well for itself. Has Georgia, Akakonlu, Gaskamuk, and Shervan as vassals, so it's basically pretty big up here too. The Ottomans seem to have taken this province here, so it could be a little bit interesting once we actually meet them, but we'll have to see. They're currently losing a war against Karakonlu, so that's an interesting note. But yeah, for the time being, I'll just sit back and see how this all plays out. Hopefully in our favor. Again, the truce is running out, so I will probably declare war on Hadoti here pretty soon. And as I said, I'm really tempted to go after Gujarat, but I'm a little bit unsure how that would actually go. I'm also tempted to attempt to vassalize Bamanis, because as you can see, they do have a ton of cores. So if I can get 2 Bamanis, then I'm definitely going to vassalize them, and then we're going to find Malva, betray them in an instant. Go after Vinagar, go after everyone that holds their cores, and basically just work from that pretense. So Gujarat could definitely become a target here for my, well, offensive needs, if you will. I don't enter the military coalition against me. Wow. Well, it's kind of what you have to do, so it doesn't really matter. I think that they're only members of said coalition, so as you can see, they're the only ones who will join. We can just go for a very swift annex, and then we'll probably end up in trouble with Malva here. But as I said, I definitely want to try and get myself in a position where I can vassalize Bamanis. So we are definitely going to declare war on Gujarat with the goal of bringing in, I think, Bamanis. Unfortunately, it will take 3 years before we can do that, but we can of course just fabricate a claim while we wait. And if this plan actually works out, then I'll basically have the northwestern part of India secured, especially if you consider the fact that I do get Savan. Where is Savan? This one, 2 base stacks to 1, and it already has a 70% local autonomy. I never figured out how this works. I probably should look into that. But I guess in this case, we'll take the base stacks, just build up Nagaur. It has 0 autonomy, so it might be for the best. But again, here the goal would be to most likely use the Timurids to my advantage if I can get that alliance going as soon as the 2 wars are over. So if we consider that, things are definitely looking good. I can then just go for straight out annexing Multan, Delhi, basically get myself a pretty neat border here, and then we can go west with that power base, basically having a united area. So we'll see how that plan works out, but for now we'll just go for a very swift annexation here of Hadoti once we're done with fabricating a claim, and we'll continue next time. But things are definitely looking good, making some progress here. Feel free to comment in comments, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you around next time. Bye.